Hey everyone, this is Mike, and I'm here with Isaac,
Hey,
and we're here to discuss a completely cataclysmic event regarding Xbox and their whole reset because, like, again, some big changes are happening over at Xbox ever since, Sharma took over as CEO and also made that big post saying that there was going to be a heavy reset. And yeah, apparently there's going to be a massive shakeup within the company because apparently they're reported that there's going to be mass layoffs, like mass layoffs soon. And it's just like a lot of people are just saying like, yeah, this is not going to be good. They're saying, I believe one insider basically suggested that the layoffs that's going to be happening soon is going to be the biggest in the gaming history, with one of the biggest announcements being the closure of Arcane Studios, as well as I believe the canceling of Marvel's Blade game, although it hasn't been announced that that's um going to be canceled yet.
yeah,
It's heavily speculated that
it's
it will.
speculated right now because saying the game's over budget at the moment.
And that really sucks.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny because a lot of people are saying like we really needed a very good like
Blade
Blade
game.
game,
Yeah.
especially considering that Blade is
Oh,
slowly becoming back in the limelight,
yeah.
and he's obviously a very popular
Well, right
character.
now I think if the article is mentioned, they are trying to shop or they're trying to shop the studio
Yeah, they're trying to
around
sell Arcane.
so to maybe another venture buying group or other conglomerate that wants to be able to take on that studio at the moment situationally. But yeah, no, but this is coming right off the heels of other studios that have been shut, like Double Fine, Tim Schafer.
Compulsion Games, Double
Yep.
Fine, yeah, the Tim Schafer Company,
Yeah.
Ninja Theory, and Undead Labs.
Yes,
Um,
literally coming, and just like literally go 2 weeks ago.
yep, I remember that. Yes. Another thing like Undead Labs, like I know,
Hmm.
State of Decay 3 might get
Very popular
canceled,
game.
yeah, but might get canceled at this point because I believe that game was just been in early access for the longest time, and that game might get cut. That's kind of like ugh.
That's so
It sucks for
disappointing.
them.
And I'm not like a big fan of a lot of these games though, but to know
Obviously,
that they're
no.
like, but there have been some important staples to Xbox's you know history
Mm-hmm.
for a very long time. So to kind of hear all these games and all these studios to be canceled just for this big uphill change, um, again, it honestly doesn't make any sense. This is just now years of just mismanaging the Xbox brand for such a long time has come to kind of bite Xbox in the ass. Like it just felt like this company spent more time at just buying up studios and just hoarding them and not letting them do pretty much anything for
Yeah,
the longest period of time.
I hate it.
That was the ultimate strategy for Xbox. That was it.
I hate it when companies do that. They'll just hold on to these companies and their IPs and just sit on them
That's it.
for years and years and do nothing with them. It's
That's
just
the
like
whole
so
point.
stupid.
Like they were working on Perfect Dark. Like people were fans of Perfect Dark because of GoldenEye and how Rare made that move. And and it always just it always bothers me when these really great developers go to bigger companies like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand that you'll have better access to funds, you'll have better
It's
you
too like marketing
marketing
resources.
resources, stuff like that. And I totally sit down and understand that, but that comes with a price where you guys are no longer your bosses anymore, and now
Mm-hmm.
you have to answer to somebody much bigger than you on the total pool. So basically, you guys once being founders, you now become employees to a much bigger fish, and you have to meet their deadlines and meet their rules and their stuff. And there might be games that you guys want to sit down and work on that you will never have the ability to sit down and work on again. Like you
Mm-hmm.
think about the people that work on Banjo Kazooie, the original creators left to make, and I think they made Ukulele. I think that's the name of the game. I guess the yeah, it was it Ukulele. I think that was
What
the
we talking about?
like the creators of Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
originally left to make their own version of the
They were
game.
still Platonic games, and they made ukulele. Yes,
Ukulele. That's what I saw. But
yes.
that's what I'm saying. Like these once great companies that used to run the ship, they end up leaving because like, well, you're not allowed to. You don't own those properties anymore, and you can't do anything with it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's under Xbox's rules, so they decide what they can or cannot do. Like you said, the only thing we've seen
Banjo
Kazooie,
Kazooie in recent years was in
was
Smash
Smash
Brothers.
Brothers. That
Yeah,
was it.
that was it.
And it
Yeah.
goes back to what you were saying. They just sit on these companies just to hoard them out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really it. They do not let them. They're not allowed to really create any of these brand new games to actually bring value back to your console at the moment. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
so like I give so much credit to companies like Project Red, CD Project Red, because
Mm-hmm.
at least I know like they only had a couple of games with The Witcher, and which fan favorite game, and then they launched into Cyberpunk, which we all know about that history about it. It was very tremendous. It started out very rocky, but little and little they were able to work on it, and now it's a very decent game. It's actually a very enjoyable game to some,
Mm-hmm.
but at least they control their IPs and they're able to sit down and be able to turn that around,
Yeah.
or be able to work with some of their investors or whatever their venture capitalists, whoever works with a
Mm-hmm.
company. At the end of the day, they still be able to control their property and still be able to take care of their crew and still be able to handle their own business versus joining another one of these big companies at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, they are a special case, but
Yeah,
same can't be said for a lot of these
I
companies.
know.
These third party like companies when it comes to working with these like these these big publishers, these big like these game like yeah, it sucks. Again, looking at the comic section again, nobody's happy about it. Like yeah, a person here saying like Microsoft doesn't get it. You cannot ruin your own ecosystem and then expect to reboot this market and succeed. Xbox has already fatally hurt itself, and the only
I
realistic
agree.
outcome is the Zune one.
No,
Anyone remember the Zune?
yeah.
The Zune. It's over. The brand is damaged. The ecosystem is damaged. Releasing another console will only yield another failure.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking forward to that Blade game. Too bad there's only one Blade, and there's only ever gonna be one Blade.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they can't
reference
get
to
a Blade to the
yeah.
Deadpool movie. Yes, and then like the fact that they can't get a freaking Blade movie up off the ground, and how hard is it to make a Blade movie? You just get Blade killing vamps. That's it. That you don't need. It doesn't need to be a super deep preference, like
I
super
think the
deep.
last Blade you're gonna have is the one in Marvel Rivals at this point.
And Marvel took on. And Marvel took, don't
Now,
forget
and that's
him.
right. Now Marvel Tokon. That's absolutely true. Yeah, that's
That's it.
very true.
But when it comes to a Blade game and another Blade series or a Blade movie, that's never happening.
Yeah, that is so disappointing, man. Especially at a time where in so many games is pulling out Wolverine and they have Spider Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Just sell it to Insomniac Games. I don't really understand why they. I know Marvel and Disney wants to be able to give everybody a chance with these properties. I would just try to sell it to Insomniac Games and see what they can do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I,
I mean, they like the same obviously would say for Spider Man, but
hey,
obviously
rather in their hand,
Marvel.
rather in their hands than whatever they're doing right now at this
Yeah,
moment.
but I mean, just in case like that company goes over, then they won't be able. Then no other company will be able to have their hands on it. I kind of understand why they won't just let one developer have it. So like
Well,
it's
I
not
mean,
to
it's
defend publishers or anything like that, but yeah, I guess just like again, it's all like a small little thing that I understand why publishers don't want one company have it, even though they're really good at what they do. Because just like you still want to be able to make sure that you can like do something that like pass it around just in case the developer goes under. It's just like it's a sucky situation because obviously I'm more in favor of the developers over the publisher, but still I still wouldn't allow them to have it like full time. I don't know.
I mean, right. Well, clearly, if the reports are true and they're about to axe this project, I mean, that you would have to assume that that IP is back up for grabs again. You know, you could, it's just
Mhm.
Disney's gonna just yank it from them once this goes under and sell this IP to somebody else.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I
again,
mean,
in the article, it mentions that they are shopping around to get
well,
like
they're
a
shopping
for
around the
the
developer
your
right now,
developer so they can so they can keep
so they
working
can
on the
continue to
game.
work on the yeah, yes, exactly. You
Hmm.
know, that could be Sony. That could come well after what we talked about. Sony, they're having their own problems at the moment. So, the whole industry is having its own issues
Yeah, I mean,
in
obviously,
at the moment. So it's like, uh,
yeah,
it
it's a messy situation. Like
is a complete mess
I
situation
think
at the
that like the
moment. You know,
industry at this point is basically going to a second gaming crash. I know we've been talking about this for
for
years. A lot of
years.
people have
Yep.
been talking about. I think it's just about here at
I
this
don't think
point.
it's about a gaming crash. I think it's a breaking point for consumers at the moment because to constantly keep on hearing that we have to close all of these studios that you sat down and acquired, and on top of the fact that you have to let go of all these talented people, you know, the directors, the programmers, but follow up that you guys are breaking record profits. It is
Hmm.
such confusion to the consumer to the point that you should be rageful at the moment.
Yeah, obviously,
You
and
know,
but yeah, and get it. Like there are a lot of talented people at these development studios, but also I do want to say that there's also a lot of dead weight at these development studios because let's we forget that a lot of hiring happened during COVID,
yes, it
and they
did.
kept just like endlessly hiring
That is
people and
true.
people and people, and there's
That
a
is fair.
lot of people just who clearly should not be at these development studios, just kind of just they're basically there to collect a paycheck and just a lot of bloat in a lot
Mhm.
of these companies. I still blame a lot of these like the publishers and these big studios for doing all that hiring, thinking that this endless growth during COVID was going to be like endless, but eventually that wore off, and now they're paying the price for that.
Yeah, well, that's just people being stupid and being greedy and putting a cart in front of the horse and not really seeing exactly the situation that was
Hmm.
actually, appearing at the moment. So it,
Yeah.
it yeah, no, it's it stinks honestly that we're not like I don't really understand how you're trying to turn around your company like literally a couple of
By
weeks ago.
nuking it.
Yeah, like these are the developers and the people and the talented people you need to turn this ship around. And it
Yeah,
seems like you're going to get rid of all of it right now and put everybody out to the dumpster at the moment.
basically.
It stinks right now. And
And
I
again,
know we sit here and then we want to say that, hey, start your own game. That's not easy to just
yeah, obviously, it's
park
not
up,
easily to
start
just
your own
a
company,
company. Yeah.
and especially at this climate right now, like where are you gonna get the money? Where are you gonna find the investors? Who you gonna invest? What IPs you gonna turn around? And on top of that, how are you gonna price point it now? Because that's gonna be very important. Is the game even gonna be good? Like there's so much things that now go into video game development and creative and marketing and stuff like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just not easy for all these people to be able to find jobs in a very short period of time.
Yep, very much so. And again, like what really can be said at this point when you have all these companies that are just making the wrong decision, not listening to the player base, also getting rid of a lot of the veterans that made these companies what they are, replacing it with new blood that really have quote unquote fresh ideas, but those ideas never come to flourish. It's a lot of bad decisions with these companies that lead to this end result. And then it also doesn't help when you have developers screaming on Twitter, basically just adding salt to the wound. It's just a shitty situation all around.
No, I totally agree. And then you look at Asha Sharma's position too. Like I said, only a couple of weeks ago, you had what people thought was a really good
Yeah, really good showcase for the
showcase,
Xbox brand, and then
and
she
then
was going to be the
everything
one
was
to.
good. A couple of weeks ago, you were on Bloomberg explaining the future of Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
and now, granted, yes, you did say that difficult decisions were coming,
Yeah.
and they did say that,
Mm-hmm.
but it just looks bad. It
Yeah.
just looks completely
In
bad on
fact,
top of all the decisions you were making on top of it.
on my advice, stop announcing when you're going to do layoffs. Just stop, because it's just like, just do it, because like at this point there's like, you're just basically like setting everyone up to be everyone's ire of everyone, to just like create this media like firestorm
I
like ahead of time.
Here's the thing. I
It's
don't
just
think
like,
they can't not, because again, these are shareholder meetings right now, and these are announced at shareholder meetings. Like the reason why they're doing this is by what's today? Today's what, I think so, a Wednesday. I think today. Well, today as we're filming it, it's a Wednesday. They've already announced their shareholder situation, so they already have everything kind of set up for their fiscal year. So
mm-hmm.
they've already talked to the shareholders. So by that, because it is shareholders, and again, this is a public traded company, they have to make those announcements. So everybody has to know about it.
Well
So,
then, well, I mean,
so
to be fair,
you can't really hide that.
this is a leak. The whole layout
Oh, this
plans
was a leak.
were leaked.
That's kind of what. All right.
So
Well,
so
but I
yeah.
still think, but I'm pretty sure you have to make that publicly known, because once again, it's a public trading company. Or
Well,
unless I don't know that,
I think have to make it to their shareholders, but not to like a public, a
which would
public blog.
which that's what I'm saying. At some point, that information will get out to the public that, hey, we had to let go of certain, like a call. They have to make the call. They have to let their investors know exactly how the company's running. So they have to let them know all those
Mm,
numbers. So again,
yeah,
those
I
have to be
guess.
public.
All right, they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, never mind what I did. Like, scratch what all that I said. Then, regardless, again, it is what it is. The layoffs are apparently reportedly coming. Studios are going to get axed, and everyone's not happy. And that being
Mhm.
said, what do you think about this news? Are you okay with this news? Are you not okay with this news? Or do you just not care? Let us know. And if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.